Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Hello and welcome to AOR F2 for this round 11 around the Hockenheim ring in Germany for season 16 of the AOR Hyper Energy F1 League. I'm Alex Buckmaster, standing for Jess this week, who's currently celebrating her birthday, so happy birthday to her. As the Hockenheim ring hosted its first F1 race in 1970 when F1 drivers refused to race on the Nürburgring Nordschleife on safety grounds, but German ain't that great. Being a cool German, my German is not that great, but you can see turn 1 of the Hockenheim ring right there. But in 1997, F1 turned its back on the Nordschleife for good, and the Hockenheim ring became the regular home of the German Grand Prix. They didn't race on this circuit racing around today. This circuit is a modern version undertook by Hermann Tilke in 2001-2002 due to some poor safety record of the old track, long engines, we had some deaths you can see here. Patrick Depailler lost his life during testing in 1980. The long straights tortured engines, even though the chicane's kind of broken it up, but the tight track really was dangerous for some of the drivers, even though they left Nordschleife due to safety grounds, so not too much of an improvement there for the drivers. So you see eventually how narrow the track was, and the environmental pressures just to being located in a heavily wooden area led to destruction of its characteristic long straights after the 2001 race. If you look above of the Hockenheim ring, you can see the old track, and you can even kind of drive around it. There's still something there, but we're not here to go on a history lesson, we're here to race today, as you can see, with the medium, the softs and the ultra soft tyres. So we should see some rather fast times around this track. So some long straights, 3 DRS zones, but also quite technical section in the latter stages of the race in Sector 3. So as you can see, we've got some track records. Pole times about 141.863 from PC C16 from G2O Killer Whale, and total time by Alex KUR 42.22.805, also season 13, but on the PS4 version instead. So we should see some great racing on today, as we see there Sector 1, 2 and 3 just being Sector 1 there being broken up by the Parabolica. We have 3 DRS zones, some elevation changes, 17 corners, 16 maybe, depends how you count them, but we are ready for the hot lap with maybe a familiar voice. Hello and welcome to the Hockenheim ring. I'm Alex Buckmaster. We're on board with the sweet Kimi Larson in his Ferrari. He's just opened up DRS on the start-finish straight as we head towards turn 1, lifting ever so slightly, staying in 7th gear for turn 1. Open up DRS once again as we start barreling down towards turn 2, 3 and 4, braking just at 100 metres there in 8th gear. Now here we go, running a bit wide as we go into the Parabolica. DRS open for the 3rd time as he goes into 8th gear, gets him ready for turn 6, which is the hairpin. Here we go, so he's about to brake just before the 100 metre board, right down into 2nd gear. Open up, ready for another long straight. Here we go into 4th, into 5th gear. You're going to make sure you're ready for turn 7. Not even lifting at all, keep on accelerating as we got heavy braking zone into turn 8. Mercedes taking a lovely bit of curve there, if I do say so myself. Into 9, into 10, another long straight as we head into turn 11. Mobile 1 only shifting down ever so slightly into 6th gear, into 7 as we go into Sachs. Make sure you don't bin it like any other Ferraris do as we go into a very tight, tricky section, very technical, into 13, 14 and 15, and then you go for the last corner, number 16. Open up DRS once again, and that is a lap round the Hockenheim ring. I've been Alex Buckmaster. Please enjoy your race. So here we are on board with the Williams of SSR Bobs. I'm joined in the commentary box, theoretically, by James. How you doing, James?
Hello, how are we doing? It's good to be back for F2 after a little while out, I suppose, for myself. But good to be back.
Yeah, we've had how long has it been? A month-ish break due to Christmas? Yeah, Christmas and New Year, so we had a month break away. I'm slightly covering for Jess. It's her birthday, so I think she's... Oh, sorry. SR Bobbis is out.
Yeah.
He binned it in turn 1. So, yeah, that's not good for the Williams driver. He's probably going to be the back of the grid. I think we do have some qualifying bans. I need to check it though. But, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, not the kind of start you'd want in qualifying. It is wet conditions, as you can probably tell on your screens. It's horrible conditions. Conditions that, well, I can't remember seeing at Hockenheim awful. Oh, wait, yes I can. Recent races would suggest that Hockenheim does get rain. But, no, it should be good nonetheless. The track, as we know, will constantly improve. As Verstappen's gone for a spin down at that's turn 4 technically. He's gone for a spin there just before the Parabolica corner. So yeah, all the guys getting tested to the absolute limits early doors in this qualifying session. Some indeed are trying to go out on intermediates.
Yeah, they're really risking it. I wouldn't suggest intermediates. You know, we know what wrong tyre choice can do from free life Formula 1, how badly it can affect your race. You could bin it into one of the corners. But yeah, I feel like we're going to see a very mixed grid. Just see who can survive on the wets and who doesn't push it too far. Because obviously, if you push it too far, it's quite a tight circuit, so the walls are not forgiven completely. We do have a qualifying ban, but I'm not too sure who it's for. So I'm going to quickly investigate. Sarah Rosberg has set the fastest time so far. Oh, but we've got yellow flags. Who's binned it? Who has binned it?
Binning it, then we're just going really slowly. Looks like Ozeri, maybe in sector 2. He's going slowly out the hairpin of turn 6. So it could well have been him. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that it's Ollie Smithson who's got egg for the front bench.
All it says on the forum is at George, so I'm not too sure.
Ah, that's Franglish, yeah.
Oh, Franglish, there we go.
Franglish, yeah.
But reading further, normally when you've got a qualifying ban, you go out on track to do like a setup, obviously. But due to what's happening in Britain, drivers who have qualifying bans cannot go out on track to do one lap, so they're permanently stuck in the pits. So, don't know what happened in Britain, to be fair, but obviously something bad must have happened for them to obviously enforce that. So, yeah, Rosberg's still leading. He's leading by about 3:10. So it's Jork who set an intermediate time of a 1:24.268. So probably the intermediates aren't the best time to go on. Well, what would you say? Would you say wets or intermediates, in your opinion?
Well, there's actually quite a differing range of tyres out there. It's not only Jork, there's a few others. Melanie's gone P2, only 1900ths of a second off Sarah Rosberg, and he's done that on intermediates. So close then between those two sets of compound of tyres. Rosberg ever increases his gap now by an extra 2 or so tenths of a second, 2.5 tenths of a second. But yeah, it's weird to see that. You don't often see such a close gap between inters and wets. It's very unusual.
Further yellow flags. I think we'll get a lot of yellow flags coming up. Obviously, just cars going slowly, and also just trying to be careful because obviously this ain't a forgiving track. You know, we've seen what one bad mistake could do to a race. Obviously, you can lose the whole entire race, but it's definitely going to be who's got the best setup in mind. Because obviously, they kind of have a, you know, if the race is dry, you don't want to set up with too much downforce because obviously, you know, you're going to ruin the race and you win points in the in the race or the qualifying. You don't win points in the qualifying at all. But who? Okay, I'm going to throw this out there. As Jork actually sets a much faster time. It's a bit early to say, but who do you feel like will get pole? Obviously, I don't do F2, so I'm not too sure. But from your opinion, who do you think will get pole?
I mean, a lot of these guys seemingly are quite good on the old track. I know Melanie's good with his traction. He's sort of so conservative on his right foot, or the loud pedal is his best known. Comes towards the line, he doesn't improve. But I want to say maybe him as the championship leader, dare I say. I don't really ever like predicting qualifying because anything can happen at any given time. The track could drastically improve. I doubt it will, but it could. Or we'll get a complete shock from absolutely nowhere at all. Let's not forget, I can only remember back to Austria where VRT Verstappen managed to get himself onto the front 2 rows, which was seen as a shock at the time, so nothing's impossible in this tier. Anyone's got a chance, but a lot of guys seem to be coming back into the pits to bolt on a set of intermediate tyres.
So definitely, so speaking about Melanie leading, let's actually take a quick look at the standings. So Melanie is currently the championship leader. He's on 99 points. So quite a long. Oh, we've got 2 and 3. Oh, someone must have gone slightly off then. All sector 3. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, Dre looks just minty. Just spun the car right around coming off of. There's 2 There's a slight apex before it's, I think it's the mobile one curve. I can't quite
Yeah,
remember
mobile
what the
one.
name of the corner is. Besides that, he's dropped it just before the end, well, just after the end of the second sector. It's quite an easy spin to make, to be fair. Probably hit the goal on the exit.
So yeah, so 26-point lead for Maloney, 88. And then we've got Rosberg on 73 points. Then Coldhead is about 55 points. So the top three quite evenly spaced out as Maloney goes provisional pole so far, 123.385. We've gone the halfway stage of the season so far. Obviously, round 11 out of 21ish. Do you think Maloney can sustain the championship lead, or do you think he's going to lose it, or he's going to be under a lot more pressure? What do you think?
He's a very consistent driver, Melanie. I've watched him in many leagues over nearly 2 years of commentating on him, and every league that I've seen him in, he just seems to have this amazing consistency. Like, he finishes most races. Okay, he may not finish them well, but he gets in the points with most races, if not every race I've ever seen him. He's very good at that. Winning races, he doesn't, well, from what I understand, he doesn't win an awful lot of races, Melanie, but he just picks up the points where it matters most, and that just goes to show the sheer consistency, maybe outriding the number of race wins. Of course, if you have a lot of race wins, you're going to obviously lead the championship, but if you don't, then it doesn't really matter. As long as you're consistent, it kind of, if he's on the roster a lot, I can see him doing bits in the championship, and I could see him keeping that fight alive for it to potentially win it. But Cyril Rosberg is a fighter, and we know that, and he won't give up his charge in this Drivers' Championship.
No, definitely no signs of giving up. Only one race win-ish between the two of them. Then it's quite close. You got Jork, Dr. Alex, Infamous Clays, and George there. Everyone kind of within about 10 points of each other. So midfield battle is looking really, really tight and really interesting. To be fair, obviously we've got X-Power 89, he's a no-show for this race. XLR Bobberts, he's on 0 points so far, so that spin ain't helping his looks in the championship so far. But yeah, it's a very mixed grid, very close together. I'm not going to ask you like podium or something like that, 'cause it's way too early so far, but LCR Hayden now, doing a 1:22.606. Do you think that now people are understanding that maybe, if Miss Clays goes even faster, 1:22.3, do you think now we are all going to see everyone intermediates now? I think, is that a given?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do say so.
Yeah, absolutely. It would just keep improving the track now. It would just constantly improve track evolution. We know what it's like in wet conditions. Horrible with no traction. It really is horrible. I've tried it many a time. Absolutely terrible, and I'll hold my hands up and say that. I'm now expecting times to hit at least, I'm thinking maybe a bit risky for me to call it, but at least the mid-21s as a potential pole zone.
I could see mid-21s as a potential pole zone, just because we've just seen, like, we've gone from high 23s to now, we've gone from high 23s just down to the low 22s now, so I think it is, you know, possible. You can't just throw it out there. But they say, you know, it's a very tight track, you know, if you make a slight mistake, you are going to lose it. But as you can see now, we've got a 1:22.014, so we're nearly breaking the 121 mark. So maybe a 1:21.5 isn't unrealistic to see. You know, some fresher tyres, the track drying up a bit more, you know, a bit less raining maybe. But so cars staying pretty certain. Do you expect it to be quite an easy race for whoever's on pole, or do you expect it to be quite a more difficult, a lot of overtaking? How do you expect the race to go?
It's Hockenheim as a track where you can overtake, but you have to do it in the early stages of the lap. You cannot really, that final sector, you're going to have to be really ballsy, you're going to have to be really brave if you're going to try any sort of moves into the final sector. It's a circuit as well, which is really hard on its tyres. These guys will be doing a one-stop strategy, I would assume. I cannot see the softest compound being used today. Drovis goes and actually hits the benchmark which we set, so maybe going down to the maybe even high 20s here. It could be that's the way that this qualifying session is panning out. But really, I think most of these guys will be doing the one-stop strategy. It's hard on its tyres. There is overtaking opportunities around here, and you've just got to be on it. There's only three DRS zones. Sorry, there's only 3 DRS zones. There are 3 DRS zones. Start, finish straight, and after turn 1, and then the long run up towards technically turn 6, the hairpin corner. So you keep really within close proximity. You've got to make up your time if you are leading throughout the rest of the lap. You cannot afford to slip up the rest of the lap. That is where you can make your money. That is where you can pull away from other drivers, and you'll certainly see that in the race. John Zananig goes into P2.
So yeah, you can definitely see Infamous Clay's there, 121.2. So definitely we could see 120's been broken into, definitely. But yeah, definitely we've got a drying track on our hands now. Only one driver on the wets, and is Ollie 44 Smithson. Is that a surprise to you, or do you kind of expect him being on the wets and throwing it out there?
He's in the pits, so I would assume that he's maybe coming out. I don't think he's even coming out. I'm not sure whether he's got some sort of issue for qualifying or whatnot, but yeah, I would never use the wets, I think, now. The track's improved so much so quickly. I think now is a case of this qualifying session will probably be decided with 0 time to go. It will be finished. There'll be no time left. I reckon that's when all the times are just going to go flying in, and the tracks will be at its best. The guy who takes the checkered flag last will have the best chance at pole position. There is no doubt about that with 4.5 minutes to go. And that is what you want to be looking out for in qualifying now, is who will be the final car to take the checkered flag.
Definitely. I think it's going to be weird. We're going to see a lot of cars kind of not wanting to go out. As you can see, some cars now coming into the pits. With 4 minutes to go, you want to put a new set of tyres on, condition them, kind of wait back a bit, and then go for it. And just basically, be perfect, pinpoint. But the problem is, if you've got so many cars following the same idea, there's going to be a lot of traffic. So you've got to, contend with that in your mind as well. So yeah, Infamous Clay's coming into the pits. Some others waiting for the pits. Sam F1 LFC just coming out now. So maybe he's going to do 2 laps and see how it goes. We're not too sure, to be fair. But speaking about strategy, we're talking about dry strategy now. Starting on, well, we're going to have a new set of tyres, aren't they? Because obviously, with the wets, you will have a new set of tyres. The AOR predictions, hashtag, let's call it that, top level stuff. We predicted that if you went ultras and mediums, it could be possible, but you could get a puncture. So the soft medium pitting in about lap 9 to 14 is probably the best strategy, but obviously with not doing a whole set of qualifying on them tyres, they may be able to push ultra softs a bit more and pit a bit later. We don't know, obviously. Wet in qualifying really throws off the whole strategy off the board. It's very unpredictable. It's very much winging it. But 2 minutes 50 to go. We should start seeing some cars coming out. Ollie now coming out on intermediates. I don't know how to say his name. P8 BFEHER.
Beefer.
Yeah, he's on softs. It's saying. I don't know if that's a mistake, but if he is on softs, that is pretty optimistic. That is.
Yeah, he will be skating off on slick tyres. It's definitely nowhere near slicks. It is starting to rain a little bit more now as well. It's like the rain has started to come back. It died off a little bit and it's starting to come back once again. But I think if you want to use ultra softs in this Grand Prix, you have to do it as the final stint. You cannot do it as the first stint because you're going to be battling so much constantly. Really, you'd want to be starting on mediums if you want to try that ultra soft run. Just see how long you can take mediums, because mediums can go on a fair distance, but it's just how long you can take those tyres. And ideally, the fastest strategy where you'll be pushing all the time, or able to push all the time, is of course those soft to medium tyres, or vice versa, medium to soft tyres.
Definitely. So yeah, 1 minute 40 to go. We're going to start some times flying through now. Maloney is on a time. Ollie Smithson's also on a time. VRC Verstappen just had a time, putting him into P6 at 1:21.471. Smithson going a bit wide coming out of turn 1, now going towards turn 2. So everyone is now on the intermediates. Beefy, how do you say his name? Oh, Ollie Smithson's giving way. Beefer, there we go. Ollie Smithson's giving way to, I believe, John. I'm not gonna say his name. I can't say names. I'm terrible at them. But yeah, we've got some cars letting people through, and definitely just trying to pinpoint perfect time to put your foot on the pedal and just go for it. Because obviously, as you say, the person who is last across the line is probably going to be first on the grid. But it's going to be interesting to see where everybody is. It's very difficult to see where people are without a map. But we've got Rosberg behind Clays, then that's Alex behind him. Maloney is just coming through Mobile 1. George going for hairpin now. VRC Verstappen just going through 13 and 14. Pele is going again, just coming to the Parabolica. Hayden, I think Pele may, yeah, he's on a final run because we've got 20 seconds to go, so I do not see him.
Oh, Verstappen.
Yeah, I saw that.
What a lap from Verstappen. P2 on the grid for the house at the moment, but we know that probably won't stay there. He's got another chance, though, to go on to another lap, so he may be one of the final few cars to take the checkered flag. There's those two Mercedes are cutting it tight. I don't think they'll get another
No, I
lap
don't
in,
think
so
they
that's
will.
it for Rosberg and Clays.
Yeah, they've lost it. They're coming through the last, well, not even through the last corner, and yeah, that's them out. They've got the timing so wrong. That is not great. It's Jork. He is provisional pole at 120.914. But it was Clays. Let's see how it goes. Yep, no. The Mercedes have binned it. Let's see how Dr. Alex comes across. Is he going to make it? Yeah.
He goes pole.
Oh.
Great lap from Drelix then. Into pole by 2/10 of a second. Verstappen's still on a lap. Melanie is also still on a lap. He's coming through the Mercedes-Benz grandstand as we speak. There's others still flying around. Hayden's just nearly binned it. Coming out the final corner, he's up to the line. He can only manage P9 on the grid. John Zalanika is also back part of the circuit. There's loads of guys pretty much on the same stretch of tarmac here. Beaver is going around the final corner in the Alfa Romeo, and he goes into P3. It's a great lap from John sorry, Beaver, not John Zalanika. He hasn't finished his lap yet. Bailey seemingly messes up his lap. I think he's lost his front wing. Yes, he has. He's binned it somewhere, but the championship leader, Melanie, is coming up towards the line. Can he go onto pole? No, he can't. He misses out by a 10th of a second. It was close, but no cigar for him. John Zalanika puts it in the barriers, and I think that's all she wrote for that qualifying session. And yeah, it looks like, well, Drelix, the Canadian, will start from pole position.
So, very interesting. So, yeah, camera's all a bit all over the place, so sorry about that. Just kind of getting used to it. So, Drelix, so we just about hit the 120s there. So your prediction was pretty close, I'll give you that one. So, is it going to be dry race? Let's see. But, so, obviously, if it's dry race, we've got the mediums, the soft, and the super softs. So, you can see there, Drelix, about 1/10 away from Maloney. Jork there. So close to his McLaren teammate. 123 compared to a 108 gap, so not too much. Then, yeah, everyone kind of seems to be about the 120, high 120s, low 121, so quite a competitive grid there. So, and then SR Bobbett's at the bottom there, due to no time for that crash. So, Maloney, Drelix, if you had to sit down now and bet a podium, what would that podium be?
I mean, those two could definitely be on it. Drelix has got the pace. He's definitely got the pace when it matters at some points. But Melanie, as we know, going for a championship, I think it's crucial then the start. I mean, they cannot run into each other in the turn one. It's an obvious statement, but the turn one here is so tight, so narrow. It's so wide on entry, but narrow so much on the apex. There's no room for error into turn one, and you'll see cars flying off to other sides of, I'd assume, nearer towards the Nürburgring than they would be at Hockenheim. They'll be flying off in towards turn one, but it's crucial, the start. It's a short run to the first corner. It's all about the launch into the first corner, and I mean, there's plenty that needs to go on behind as well. Rosberg's slightly out of position, you could say. He's going to have to make his way in order for him to get past his championship rival.
So, obviously, we're going to show the pit strategy in a minute, but it looks like we have a dry race in our hands. So, new tyres for everyone on the grid. Free selection, obviously. So, it's going to be quite interesting. So, you talk about incidents into turn one. So, you are saying we will expect a safety car on the track. Is that... Do you believe...
I wish we could see a safety car. I haven't seen a safety car in league racing for some time though, so I'm not going to put my money on it.
True.
I would like to see a safety car. To be honest, it would really. I mean, the strategies then would go right out the window. Safety car around here. That ultra softs that you're talking about definitely come into play towards the end of the race. I mean, you wouldn't expect to see a lot of pitters. You'd expect to see a lot of people. Depends when it is in the race. It's obvious, but depends when it is in the race. As the formation lap gets us underway, let's go straight to see what these guys are starting on. The race leader Drelix starts on medium tyres. It's one of 5 to start on medium tyres. Drelix is on mediums. Infamous Clays is on mediums. V2 Verstappen starts on mediums. Pazzeri starts on mediums. as does LCR Hayden, who rounds out the top 10. Everybody else is on soft tyres. No one choosing to use the softest of the tyres. Melanie, Jork, Beaver, Rosberg. Who else have we got here? Johnson and Nika and Sam F1FC. Everyone else, Smithson, LGS, Bobberts and Frankish, all on the soft tyres. So expect them to pit sooner rather than later. But that does mean the man who, it does have a detrimental effect actually, being on the mediums compared to Melanie, sorry, Dradix on the mediums compared to Melanie on the softs. You're expecting to see Melanie actually get a better launch.
Yeah.
Softer the compound tyre, the better the launch of the car. So Dradix is going to have to be really wary into turn 1, and thankfully for him, he's got the inside line.
So the predicted pit stop strategy for AOR on the one stop, obviously, is what we're seeing. On softs, onto mediums, lap 9 to 14 is predicted stop. Onto mediums, onto softs, we're predicting a stop onto 9 to 22. So, obviously quite late into the race, we should see some pit stops taking place. But we're about to get to the grid. So, are you ready for the race? Oh, VRC Verstappen disqualified with Pele there. Obviously, slight altercation, but nothing more than that. So, are you ready for the race, James? Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm up for it. Let's get ready to go racing. This is what we're all waiting for, that light sequence, and all the tension, all the anticipation rises up to this very moment for every one of these guys. We know what we know what Dradix needs to do off of pole position, just needs to hold his nerve. He does start on the outside, so he's got the clean run, the clean side of the track as they head towards the first corner. He's going to have the line as well, which is crucial. Melanie will have to come back on himself. These, well, all of these F2 drivers do not need a green light. There's 5 lights ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go. It looks like a pretty good launch from the second row there. Melanie's bogged down at the start, not something we expected. Jordan will try and take him all around the outside of the first corner. Thinks better of it into there, but everyone seems to have got through absolutely fine so far. Looking like one of the Sauers under pressure. That's Beaver. Rosberg right round the outside of him as they head in towards turn number 2. And Rosberg still side by side with him as they head through there. Looks like he's got the move done on the Sauer. Clean start from everyone. Doesn't look like there's been any sort of carnage going on, but Beaver's trying to go back at him here. Jordan is also on his teammate up the inside as they go into turn 6. It's all starting to kick off there, wheel to wheel. They're side by side, it's like Noah's Ark as they head into turn 6, and looking like he's got the move done. There's contact, there's a Mercedes round, I think, or some forms of debris flying off on the road there, but looking like Jordan is trying to challenge Dradix for the lead, in fact, in the McLaren. He's had a stonking start. He's round the outside of the pass car as they head in towards past Mercedes-Benz grandstand round the outside. What about that for a move from the McLaren? Gets ahead of him and stays ahead of him. What a fantastic start from Jork in the McLaren.
So yeah, definitely the choice of tyres there probably favoured Jork a lot more. Obviously, as you're saying there, softer tyre, better launch, but not great for Dradix, but a great start for Jork there. It's already setting half a second gap between him and the Haas car, setting fast lap as well. I saw some contact, but I'm not too sure. I believe that's Infamous Clay. He's into the pits now, probably to change a front wing of sorts, but maybe he goes back onto the mediums, maybe we'll go into a softer strategy. We do not know, but he's back at the bottom of the grid. LCR Hayden as well. Great stuff from Bobberts as well. He's gone from the bottom of the grid all the way to P8, so making up about 7 places. So great start from the Williams driver. And yeah, there's something more than that, but it looks like Melanie tries to have some sort of look into the hairpin. He's going to try to switch back, but doesn't work fully. But we've got some other moves there. LGS making a move, Sam also making a move around the hairpin now. But it looks like Melanie is going to try and make a McLaren 1-2. We're not too sure, but yeah, interesting start to the race. Very interesting start to the race.
Yeah, it's pretty chaotic start in many ways. It was clean for the best part. I mean, apart from the Mercedes, who lost, we assume, some of his front wing, and that's the reason he pit in that lap. But you can see now already the timing screens. You can see just a second lead that Jork has, but it's enough to hold off Dradix at the moment. It's a case now then Melanie has to get through because he's just going to be a buffer in the dents of a race win now is Dradix. He's going to be in the way, and towards the end of the race you'll see Dradix coming back at Melanie perhaps. That's all to play for and hopefully all to see, but Melanie is all over him. Darius will be enabled this lap, and he's got it has Melanie. He's going to have to drag his McLaren all the way to turn 6, but he's going to have to do it by slingshotting Drelix in the house, and the house goes defensive, but not defensive enough because Melanie will dart to the outside and needs to get this move done. Look, the brakes, it's a fantastic move. Can he get it? No, he's gone too deep on the brakes, and he's, oh no, has he? Has he gone too deep on the brakes? Doesn't look like it, because he's got swung around the outside of the house, and he's into position there, but Rosberg trying to make it 3 wide in towards the Mercedes-Benz grandstand, and Rosberg finds himself ahead of Drelix as well, who's now losing positions hand over fist.
It looks without some sort of reason as well. Pele has dropped to P14. I think he's lost a front wing. Yep, he's lost the left end plate of his front wing, so he's going to come into the pits now and get a fresh front wing. But even worse for Drelix, who's on pole, and now he's not even in podium position. Rosberg making a wonderful move, taking advantage of what Melanie done to the Haas. Literally made sure he can get through turn 8 Mercedes and just squeeze the car in there perfectly. But we got a 3-second time penalty now for Melanie for multiple warnings, but I'm sure you don't have to worry. So LGS also has the same. Bit too much corner car into turn 1, I believe. But now Rosberg just a bit too hot on the brakes into turn 2. And will Drelix have DRS? Drelix will have DRS, but so will Rosberg. So another very interesting move into the hairpin, I expect.
Yeah, Rosberg is against a championship rival here, depending on how late he goes on the brakes. Look how lazy he's going on the brake pedal there. He was in a different postcode, but he couldn't quite get the move done on the McLaren, who has now got, as you say, he's got a 3-second time penalty, which is very characteristic of Melanie. It's not something I was ever become accustomed to seeing, but he does get himself that 3-second time penalty. Rosberg, though, is a man who we know likes to go for a lunge, and he will bite at any opportunity to get past Melanie in the McLaren.
Oh, definitely. I agree with that one. But also, what's getting interesting now is it's changed from a 3-car race into very much so a 5-car race. Beefer now coming right onto the back of Drelix. John Salonika, that's how you say his name. He's also watching a bit like a hawk, just trying to see what happens now. But it feels like that the medium tyre was such a wrong choice for Drelix, because as you can see, these 3 cars ahead of him on the soft have just gone past him easily with no worries. But Drelix will have the advantage of the softer tyre in the later stages of the race. But will the early damage just be too much for the Haas driver and just knock out podium position for him, as Beefer does receive DRS, but so does John Salonika as well. Bobbits doesn't, but let's see what happens into as Rosberg makes a move. He goes on the outside of Meloni, but oh, Meloni takes on the inside of switchback. It's being done, but Rosberg, does he have P2? Yes, he does. But can he hold on to it? That is the key question. He does for now. Even greater move there by the Mercedes driver. Great move. Indeed, it's Pele now. Oh, sorry. Pele's got a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he has retired from the race. So, not good.
Brilliant stuff there from Rosberg, just getting on the switchback. That's exactly what he needed to do against his championship rival. It's so crucial that he got that move done. But we were saying about Drelix on the medium tyres there. If the AOR prediction is correct, and they do decide to pit on around lap 9, was it lap 9? Were you saying that the
I can roll the prediction again for you. I love rolling the prediction. It's just such a great little thing. Should we do it? It was lap 9 to 14 for softs to mediums and 19-22 for mediums to softs. So yeah, 9 to 14 is what we're looking at. Oh, we got a
9 to 14.
Yeah, 9 to 14 is what.
Well, in which case then, these tyres are going to come towards the end of their life very, very soon. Melanie is also right on the back of Rosberg once again as they head towards turn 6, but Drelix is going to have the advantage. At the late part of the stint, Drelix was looking for a move on the McLaren into there, which may be even proving my point. Those mediums may not be the worst tyre to be on at this stage of the Grand Prix. It's a case of how he manages this race now. He knows he's not going to have the pace right at this moment, but as those laps progress, eventually it will fall into his clutches. And those two McLarens as well, being so close in proximity to each other on circuit, they're going to be discussing who's going to pit when. Who gets the priority? It's surely going to be the race leader, Jork.
Oh, definitely. The 1.2 second gap there from nothing, to be fair, to Rosberg. He's done such great. He deserves the first pit stop, but also Jork can do, but Melanie can do an undercut. Sorry, not Jork. Melanie can do the undercut, so maybe he's going to try and persuade Jork. Let me do the undercut. Example, Melanie has got a lot more to lose here. He is the championship leader. Jork currently in the championship. He is P4 in that very close thing to Coldhead, so maybe he's going to try and argue with his teammate, I need to go first. But obviously, deep discussions in the McLaren garage currently. But there's 5, 6, maybe even 7 car now with Bobbett's on the case. Can Bobbett's get DRS? Bobbett's now got DRS. We've got a 7 car train, basically, of DRS going into the hairpin, which is absolutely spectacular. But can Dralix do a late lunge on Maloney? He tries to, but very, very close. He can't pull it off just yet. But it's going to be very interesting. I definitely think next few laps we're going to see the soft cars come in. Maybe a bit later. I feel like lap 10. But I think the mediums will pay off for John Salonika. He's gone completely. Oh, on the softs. That was not good. You just saw a faint Renault just go flying off in the distance. But that is not good. He was doing so well around P6. It's because we remember one now. But that is such a shame for the Renault driver. I feel like he's going to come into the pits now, get onto the mediums, and then just try and long it as long as he can for the rest of the race.
Well, he's lucky the incident came at a time when, you know, he was going to have to change tyres anyway, so he's quite unfortunate in that sense, but he's a little bit unfortunate, that's the word I'm looking for, unfortunate, because he's going to have to slightly manage his tyres just a little bit more than he would have liked. And Melanie now is right on the back of Rosberg. Rosberg is really closing in, reeling in that gap to Jork ahead of him. He's reeling him in at a fast rate, is the Mercedes driver. Will he go for a move in towards turn 6? Rosberg down the inside of the McLaren, but the race leaders are making contact with each other. But Rosberg is going to get the move done on Jork, or is he? Because they're going to be side by side. Melanie trying to go down the middle there of the pair of them. Rosberg still holding on the inside. Melanie coming down the middle once again, but Jork holds the inside line, holds the defensive line, holds the lead of this German Grand Prix.
That was so dangerous. I felt like 2 cars, Melanie trying to get in the middle. I thought we'd have a safety car in our hands, 3 cars out. But such great driving by all of them, really. Real nail-biting stuff there. But Dralix is coming in there now, and so is Beefer as well. I feel like the worst things comes to worst is for Bobbett's now. Bobbett's making way for LGS, who's now in P6. But we had such a great little train going on, but obviously the John Salonika just going out, obviously kind of ruined that train slightly, but he hasn't pitted yet, so he's about 2 seconds away on the case of VRT for Verstappen, so maybe he is going to try and wait it out until lap 9, when we are predicted about 9 to 14, but VRT for Verstappen now, 3 second time penalty for multiple warnings. But Maloney on Rosberg, can he make the move? I don't think he will, but oh my god, Rosberg is so close. He's trying to sling back on Jork. He's about to make it on the outside of the hairpin. Can he finally pull it off? Let's see. Oh, Jork closes the door absolutely wonderfully, and he does not let Rosberg pass. Oh, Melody's trying to make a move.
He's all over the back of him in towards the Mercedes-Benz grandstand. That would be controversial, but he can't quite get the move done. Rosberg's got deep on the brakes though, and Melody's back around the outside of him again. They make contact, the 2 of them. Rosberg does stay ahead for now. He's going to have to keep doing that. It's a really, really precarious position. It's in between 2 teammates. He really cannot afford to get this all wrong when pretty much all 3 of their Grand Prix. And as for Rosberg, brilliant stuff there to just hold him off in the end. But Melanie is a charging McLaren at the moment, and he really is giving it everything he's got in those soft tyres. It's going to be interesting then to see who pits first of this train of cars.
Definitely. It's going to be who bites the bullet first, but also if you undercut too early, obviously it's going to be very detrimental to your races. Maloney, he's trying to have a look. The little DRS section between 1 and 2, he's trying to see if he can make a move through there, but obviously he can't. He's going to wait until Parabolic and the DRS, and definitely Rosberg knows what's going on. He's trying to sweep his car, trying to make it as wide as he can and make sure that Maloney does not get any of that DRS. But Dralix now is trying to have a look as well, as Maloney is going around the outside, outbreaks Rosberg. They slightly touch the 2 of them as Rosberg tries to replicate what Jork done to him, but now they're side by side into turn 7. What can happen? Rosberg leads still, but Maloney's trying to make a look into Mercedes turn 8. Rosberg shuts the door just about, and that was so close, wasn't it? Oh.
That was a sporty equivalent to a slap in the face. That was just, no, you're not going through there. Nothing is going to stop him from keeping this 2nd place as Rosberg, and he's doing absolutely everything he can. I do wonder, would it be wise for him to pit? He's now 1.3 seconds behind Jork in the McLaren. He doesn't pit. None of these guys pit just yet. And you'd assume at some point over the next couple of laps for that to be the case. But the run into turn 1 is going to be crucial for Melanie. Just takes so much curve on the inside there. Rosberg's not going to be able to he may be able to defend this into turn 3. Let's see what he can do. He stays so close together. It's all about the run through turn 1 and 2. The DRS is pretty much the most effective thing you can use through there. It's all about the run though, that's what's crucial. Melanie though, going for it once again on Rosberg. Rosberg going on the defensive. Rosberg can't defend that hard though. He's going to have to keep that left foot intact because he's going to need it. Melanie's trying around the outside again, and Rosberg still holds on to his second place. Drelix in the house is coming up close behind as well, but looks like Rosberg just holds on. Drelix though is looking for a move on the McLaren of Melanie, thinks about it, thinks better of it, in towards there, into Mercedes-Benz grandstand, and stays behind for now. But this is what's said, his tyres are starting to come back onto his own here on those mediums. Those softs are wearing out now, and it's a case of when for Drelix. He's got to get these moves done as quickly as he can.
I swear to that Rosberg, he just stays in position. Forget about using sellotape, just use Rosberg, because I swear to God, he just sticks there. He doesn't move at all. You know, Maloney, he's trying everything. He's throwing the kitchen sink at him, but he just can't get P2. It's absolutely amazing just to watch. But can Melanie, as you say, the turn 1 is very important. Try and get the DRS and set it up into turn 5, the parabolica, and then therefore get it through into the hairpin. But let's see, can Maloney make it work again? He definitely is very close to Rosberg, but Rosberg definitely trying to take an alternative line to make sure Maloney cannot get any DRS at, well, not any DRS, any slipstreaming at all. But let's see how they go. Maloney, what's going on the inside this time for the hairpin? Slightly different. And I think as he got it, slight knock of the front wing there for Rosberg. But yep, he's got P2. Wow. Rosberg's finally become unstuck. Great move.
Great move from Melanie. Put all the trust of Rosberg there towards that hairpin because the door was shutting. You just saw Rosberg, and I was just waiting for him to pounce across the right-hand side of the circuit to defend against the McLaren. But, well, his cat-like reactions couldn't stop him from diving down the inside, and he got that move done. Brilliant move as well. Now these McLarens have got to work together to try and pull away from Sarah Rosberg.
Could we see a McLaren pit stop now? Let's see. Nope. Is anybody going to pit? No. No one's going to pit. Okay. Very interesting.
Interesting. Bobbert's pit, and he was in P6. He's about 2.5 seconds off Beaver in P5, who is still in this scrap. But it's going to be interesting to see. A few soft runners starting to pit now. Watch out for Bobberts. I think he could be a threat to that top 5.
Though he did get a 3-second time penalty, though. He did get a time penalty. I think that's what kind of made him, pushed him into the decision to pit as well. But I think it's a 3-second time penalty for multiple penalties. But Drelix now, he's trying to make some sort. He's trying to get following Rosberg now. Can he make it all? Can he make a move on the outside into the hairpin? I think he could.
Well, go for it. He's giving it a go, isn't he, the Canadian? He's afraid of Rosberg. The switchback move, he just can't get the run. He just can't get the grip. Coming off of the corner there, and Drelix stays behind. I
think you got to follow what Melanie did. Melanie kept on going to the outside then in for the switchback. But I seriously think you got to go inside then out to kind of push the leading car out of the way. I think what Melanie did was the right call, and I think that's the only way you're going to make something effective out of the hairpin. But he's very close to into the Mercedes driving out as we go through Sachs. But again, are we going to see any cars pitting? Let's see. Is Jork going to pit? Yes, Jork is pitting.
Yes.
But Melani's staying out. Rosberg. Drelix staying out. Beef is coming in as well. So Melani's out. Drelix is out. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Obviously, Drelix is going to stay out because he's on the medium alternative strategy. But Bobberts, let's keep an eye on Bobberts and let's see where he comes. Bobberts is going on the start-finish straight now, and Jork is. Where is Jork? Let's see how they come out. Bobberts is now set the fastest time.
Well. Oh. He's got past Beefo. He's 2.5 seconds behind him. He's got past him. But Williams then goes to prove that undercut could be so powerful, so detrimental to Melanie's Grand Prix now. Rosberg could well get the jump on him, but he's got traffic in the form of Verstappen, and luckily for Jork, he's come out ahead of that traffic of Verstappen and Hayden. So it's going to be a bit of a mess then for him. Hayden's looking for a move on Verstappen as they head in towards turn 6. Hayden trying to get that run, can't quite do it. Rosberg now is losing more time behind a McLaren. Well, losing time behind a Renault, and he's now losing time to Jork, who is technically the race leader.
Contact between Hayden and Verstappen there. Hayden heavy on the brakes and just knocked the back of Verstappen. But the interesting thing is, John Saloniki had that spin, he still hasn't pitted. He's still 13 laps on the same softs. I don't understand why he's not pitted yet. Maloney's into the pits So Dralix is out. So all Beefer coming past Hayden now. Hayden seems to have some problem. But let's get on board with Jork and let's see where they come out compared to Maloney. So Maloney just coming into the pits now. Jork coming around the last corner. It's going to be very interesting to see where they come out. John Salonika is still not coming out as well. But Maloney, oh, it's going to be very close between the two cars. Going into turn 2. Oh my God. Ever so close. So Maloney
is up the inside. Oh, no, Rosberg's up the inside of Verstappen. He gets the move done on the house. And yeah, you're right. It's so crucial that Jork got out ahead of his teammate. Now Bogut's is looking for a move from Verstappen as well. Rosberg, it could be at fault here for a podium. They may go 3 wide into turn 6.
Oh my God.
Get this move done? Who's going to get there? And I think Rosberg's going to hold his nerve just for now, but the Williams is coming right back at him again. And I don't think it's all over at all yet. This is going to keep on going and going and going. But Verstappen put in a great effort there just to try and hold off those two who are faster, admittedly. But we hate to see cars just give away positions like they're, I don't know, a pathetic leaflet that you'll find coming through your post box. You don't want to see that kind of thing. And Verstappen holding his own.
I think, if we've got to think about it, the main loser, in my opinion, of the pit stops is Beefer. He's still stuck behind Verstappen. But Bobbitt's obviously overtook him straight away. John Salonika now coming to the pits. But Beefer, he was, you know, right in there in front of Bobbitt's by quite a mile. But now he's way behind Bobbitt's and stuck behind Verstappen. You know, it's very much a shame for the Sauber driver. But can he make a move? Oh, trying to late break Verstappen into turn 2, but not much he could do now. It looks like Bobbitt seems like he's going to line a move up into Rosberg. He's trying to slipstream him with some DRS as he can. But Rosberg trying to...
Rosberg's on Melanie.
Yeah, he's trying to make a move on Melanie. And definitely. Bobbitt's as well, kind of getting stuff done. I feel like it's going to rain. The clouds... It's got darker now. We're halfway through the race. And yeah, it looks like... It feels like it's going to rain. And that may fall.
I don't know.
No.
I can't remember, but there was a Grand Prix that happened earlier on in 2018. I can't think. Did it rain in that race? I wouldn't know. But yeah, it certainly did. We all know it did. And of course, that could play havoc for some of these guys out here. We saw what it did to 4 times world champions. So it may happen to one of these guys out here today. Sachs curve isn't the easiest corner. I'm not going to get into any disputes about how these guys can drive their cars, but Bobbitt's is definitely the biggest gainer of those pit stops coming back to the race, and the biggest gainer is now going to potentially be the biggest loser. There is what we call, Alex, context curse.
Yeah, you literally... I saw him, but he just basically took Lord Curve, literally track ascended as much as he could. I was like, okay, that's a bit too much. But... yeah, as I referenced to in the hot lap, very slightly, you know, you got... Oh, sorry, but...
Rosberg!
Oh, Melanie!
Rosberg's on the outside of Melanie. And Melanie's so loud on the brakes again, but he's just holding on with that McLaren. He's making it as wide as Woking. And can he get the move done now, Rosberg on the inside of him. They're side by side, Rosberg on the outside. Melanie on the inside. And McLaren 1-2 is at stake. But at the Mercedes-Benz grandstand, Rosberg's gone right with the outside of him and said, no, they're not having that one, sunshine. Got the move done on him. And he's into P3, technically P2 in this Grand Prix. Fantastic move from the Mercedes.
Definitely. But as I was saying in the hot lap, as they go through the Sachs curve now, it's very, very easy. Make sure you don't bin your car in there. But if it does rain, it's going to work perfectly for Dralix. He's still got a pit, so he could pit like everybody else has to onto wet tyres. But he's basically saved himself a pit stop. So a change, a coming of rain can really help the Haas driver, who's leading by about 13 seconds. He will be by about 15 seconds, but Jork is cutting down.
It goes Bobbitt's at the inside of Melanie. He was so close to Williams between himself and the McLaren. Look at his run that he's going to get as well. He sized him up perfectly. Absolutely brilliant size up there from Bobbitt. And that Bobbitt needs to go for the moves now once again in towards turn 6. He's going to have the outside line. He's going to have to think about this one, because he's going to have to do what everyone else has done and go on the switchback of a McLaren, and he can't get the switchback done, and he stays behind Melanie and the McLaren, and it's going to have to work. Well, it's not worked for him just yet, but we feel it may happen for him. Rosberg's starting to really stretch his legs against Melanie as well. Melanie doesn't seem to have much pace on those wheels.
No, but what was interesting was the hairpin. That Bologna kept the same strategy, staying on the inside, pulling in. That looks to be the best way to defend and attack, obviously. But Bobberts could have just pulled. He couldn't really pull back, but he should have definitely taken the inside line into the hairpin instead of going out and in. Probably go in and out. If that makes any sense. But yeah, Melanie really struggling now on the mediums. Not as much pace as you could perceive on the softs. But if you look behind Bobberts, Beaver is slowly getting through. He's making his way through as Verstappen's completely dropped. He's gone to P9 now. He was 5 and 6. He was about 5th to 6th. But yeah, Beaver definitely coming through now and probably could put some pressure onto Bobberts. Don't forget his 2-lap fresher tyres, which at the end of a race can make a world of a difference. But as you can see, Melanie trying to have a look on Rosberg, but nothing more he could do.
Yeah, it's like I'm looking at, and it's LGS. He's on soft tyres, but he's done 7 laps on those softs. Now, he could have pit earlier, but, and it's a big but, if rain was to come, everyone else has gone on to mediums. Is that rain then closer than what we think? Because LGS on softs has done, he's done 7 laps on softs. Is the rain actually closer than what we think? It could be just around the corner, who knows? Because it'd be a bit odd to do a soft medium, or a soft ultra soft.
Yeah.
So he could be,
yeah,
I don't know, devil's advocate in this race potentially.
Or maybe he's just thought, wing it, I'll do a 2-stop and see what happens. But
maybe.
Yeah. But sadly, yeah, we can't check the weather. But I'm seeing a few breaks in the clouds. If you look at turn 1 now, we're on board with Bobberts, but there's a few breaks in the cloud, but there's some quite thick clouds. We've got 14 laps to go. But if it's going to rain, it's going to have to start raining now, because I hate it. If it rains the last few laps of the race, then all hell would break loose. All hell would definitely break loose. But Maloney now is how close is to Rosberg? Oh, he's quite close to Rosberg actually. Rosberg's got no DRS, but Maloney does. It's not close enough to make a move into the hairpin. We've got some yellow flags and sector 3 there. But have you done like a rain dance yet? Have you made sure the rain's coming yet, or anything? Anything we could do? Just I don't know. Is it gonna rain?
I wish we could say it's gonna rain. Us Brits, we know, fell for the bloody sight of it, but we know. It should be. I'd like to see it come. I think this race could really do with a bit of rain. I mean, it's a great race, not going to lie, but it could be even better. Just the thought of rain is a brilliant thought to any motor racing enthusiast, and of course it's going to be something that all these drivers are going to dread. But as neutrals, we all want to see. One of the moves that we saw earlier on about Verstappen and Rosberg, I think Melanie as well, Bobberts is one of those 3. Someone described it in the chat as basically Alonso, Hamilton, Ricciardo mode from 2014. It's a great shout. I never even thought of that, but it's an absolutely brilliant shout there. But they're also, another thing I just want to get off my chest now, is look how much they're closing in onto George. I mean, that gap wasn't as small as that. It's 7/10 of a second, and we know what Rosberg's like on that left foot.
But also, Dralic's 8 seconds it is now, so it's cut down from 7. But one lap to be won, so obviously I have to show everybody again the hashtag AOR pit stop predictor thing. Bob, I can't really find an official name for it. But those on the mediums who stayed out at Dralic should be pitting around lap 19 to 22 and then going on to the softs. So, where will Dralic come out? That is my big question right now. Where do you think Dralic will come out? Because he's leading the race.
It'd be a long way back.
Yeah.
He could be maybe 9th. Because they're so close between all of these cars. I mean, it could easily be around 9th on the road, which would mean he's going to have to do some overtaking if he wants to get a podium today, Dralix. And I said he was maybe a definite for a podium. Might have to cut back my estimations here, but anything's possible. He could still get himself onto the rostrum, but you can see Rosberg is absolutely flying in that Mercedes. He's really closing up to George. I feel like it's a matter of time before he can gain the race leader of this German Grand Prix, sizing up George through turns 2 and 3 as well. Here we go then. Rosberg with the DRS wide open, the parabolica non-existent, is flat out. We know that. George defends the inside. The McLaren may not be able to do enough though, because Rosberg is round the outside of what is the race leader technically. Can he get the move done on him? They're banging wheels as they enter turn 6. Looks like George's going to hold it on the inside, but Rosberg's going to have the bravery round the outside. Fantastic stuff from Rosberg, and he does hold on. Jork's still on in there, being forced off the road, forced onto the AstroTurf, but eventually Ciro Rosberg getting gets ahead of him and takes the net lead of this German Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff again from Cyril Rosberg. What a drive.
Well done by him, but there's rain. I see some rain. No, I just saw a spot of rain. I swear to God, I just saw a spot of rain on Cyril Rosberg. It's raining. It's raining.
It's raining.
Oh no.
Oh goodness me.
Are we going to see a Dralix
really
masterclass? Because obviously,
Could be.
is he staying so long out on the mediums just to get the wet weather tyres? Oh my God, it is raining. Oh my God, it's raining. Oh my God. Did you do the rain dance? Because I feel like you have. Because oh my God, it's chucking it.
I may have done.
It's chucking it.
Chalk is coming again though. They're going to have to watch the grip. That brake pedal, they're going to have to be so sensitive on it. When it gets a little bit more wet, and Chalk's on the outside of Rosberg again. Bobert's on the inside of Melanie as well. He's on the outside as well. They're 4 cars within the space of a corner here. It looks like Chalk hasn't got the grip on the exit to really harry Rosberg. Bobert's has got ahead of Melanie and the other McLaren, but Chalk is going to have to try and go back at Rosberg in towards the Mercedes-Benz grandstand. Stays behind him for now, but my goodness me, Boberts has made up some huge strides in that Williams. He's right back in this with a chance of victory. But who knows, because this rain's come. So who knows what's going to happen with around 11 laps to go. And looks like it's
we've got a slow carp ahead.
They head to the Saxon curve. Is it Ollie Smithson? We always seem to see him getting lapped, and of course he wants to get on the act for the race win here. And here we go. Can Boberts find any sort of move against him? Smithson's well out the way, and I'm glad for that. But they're all done.
They're all putting it.
As Dralix, who's going to come in for Inters? Surely not this early.
They're going in. They're all pitting. Oh my God. Will Dralix have the lead? Oh my God.
Melanie's going to have to stack. Yes, they are. Dralix has got 20s. He's out. He's going to lead. But LGS, the man who was on soft tyres, the man I said you should watch out for, leads the German Grand Prix in the Ferrari. But Dralix has come out in P2 on the intermediates. Everyone's dancing into the pits for intermediates now. It's crazy scenes in Germany, but Melanie's lost out crucially. DRS is disabled. It's all kicking off because Melanie, the championship leader, is now behind Franglish in the Toro Rosso.
Should they have gone into wets instead? Weighed out a lot more, gone straight into wets, because I feel like the weather is going to pick up even more and push everybody onto wets.
Oh, LGS has gone miles off at turn 6. He's on the old racetrack. He's flown off the road there in the Ferrari, and he's back on, but he's now only 1.5 seconds ahead of Dralix in the house.
Don't bring it in sacks.
Nowhere.
Don't bring it. Oh God! Oh God! No! He's been into Mercedes.
Smithson's on, nearly makes contact. Oh my goodness me!
Oh my God!
Now Rosberg is doing his best up there in P3. That is now LGS. You really don't want to see a car.
Don't bin in sacks.
Especially not
Ferrari. Don't bin in sacks.
Look how tentatively he's taking it now.
Oh, has he binned it? He's binned it in sacks. The Ferrari's binned it in sacks. Wow, it's like the sun in the morning. It's an inevitable thing to happen. But I don't understand why LGS stayed out. Is he coming into the pits? He's gonna. Oh my God, he's stuck. He's a duck out of water, so he got stuck a bit wide there, and yep, he's now coming into the pits. But a 4-second gap between Dralix and Cyril Rosberg now. As wow, Dralix, you gotta give it to him. What a smart move by him.
Amazing.
What a smart
Amazing
move.
Dralix in the Haas car. And the other thing I just want to point out on is, I mean, it was a near certainty that McLaren would get a podium here today. They were so in control of this Grand Prix. Now they've thrown it away because Boberts is all over the back of Jork in the lead McLaren, as it were, the lead of those two McLarens. But he's not really pulling away from Boberts at the moment. But that Williams will sense a chance, and he should take it. This is going to be really interesting. 9 laps to go of this Grand Prix, and you'd like to think, oh, Verstappen is out of the Grand Prix.
One thing that's really interesting now is look, Franglish. Franglish is now in there. He's like Dralix. Franglish is now in there. He's now in P6. Perfectly timed it. The Meloni has really suffered from the stacking of McLaren. That McLaren 1-3 has affected Meloni the most, and now he's bogged down in P7, and he's got a 4-second gap to Franglish, and even greater to be for Boberts and Jork. You know, so what a shame. But oh, what's happened there? We've got yellow flag section 1 and 2. Is who's gone off? I think is that Smithson. I don't know, but we're coming on board with Dralix. Who is that? It's gone. Oh, I think that maybe. Oh, Dralix like lost it there. Where's the going wide? I don't know.
Well, Bobbers does need to get a move on now though. Without DRS, the same number of lap olds tyres. The only separation for these guys is if Jork would have done a couple of 100 metres, well actually about 10 or so metres more than Jork on this set of tyres, because they're 10 metres older, let's call them that. So he'd have had to exit his pit box, and that would have cost him those 10 metres, but that's besides the point. It's basically level is what we're saying here. Bobbers could and maybe should get a podium in this German Grand Prix, which Jork's going to have to do everything he can. He's going to have to really up the ticks now, because, well, he's going to struggle against that Williams. 13 is unlucky for some, but it may not be unlucky for Bobberts in the Williams. He's doing his absolute utmost against Jork in the McLaren. He runs slightly wide through the Motor 1 curve and the Sachs curve that follows, and it's just going to play on his mind that little bit, isn't it? I mean, he's thrown away maybe even a 1-2 finish here. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Definitely, but no one predicted the wet weather until we saw the clouds and then you started doing rain dance. No one predicted it. Dralix was on the alternative strategy and thought, you know what, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, and he done it, and he's now leading the race. He's maintaining that 4-second gap to him. Now Jorka's got a 3-second time penalty, but so does Bobberts have a 3-second time penalty as well, so it's much for much, to be fair. But it's now pretty much square and equal between the two of them, because obviously they've both got 3-second time penalties. You know, it's even worse, but...
Only difference is, I'm afraid to say, I'm going to have to break the ice here, is Bobberts does have one more penalty than Jork.
Oh, does he?
So if he does get this move done, he's going to have to make up 3 seconds, which seems unlikely. My goodness me, how deep did they both go into turn 6? They went miles off the racing line there, just to try and get the run, and Bobberts now is going to have a chance in towards the Mercedes-Benz grandstand, the supplier of the engine for the Williams team. Can he get the move done in towards this Mercedes-Benz grandstand? Doesn't look like he can at the moment, but yeah, it's this track actually, you're probably right, Alex. Wet, maybe even wet tyres now. That is so poor, the conditions out there. It's got worse. And those wets could be a factor as this race.
They've touched. Bobberts and Jork just touched. Bobberts a bit too late on the brakes, and he's lost his front wing. Oh my god, yeah, he's going to have to come in for the softs. Not for the softs, for the wets, and also change his front wing. But wait, Bobberts is staying out.
Can't turn in enough.
Oh no! Oh no, this is bad. Oh no, this is not good for Bobberts at all. How could you say? What was the phrase used for him? Bigger riser of the day, let's call him that one. Has just lost it completely, because that move, yeah, he's lost the left wing end plate of his front wing.
Yeah.
And oh my god, he's going to struggle in this weather of conditions. Let's just hope he doesn't fall to Beaver, because Beaver's catching up to him now. He's only got a second left. This is not good for the Williams driver at all. Not at all.
Dralix has checked out front though, and of course there is a certain thing where you could vote for your driver of the day. I'm not sure we've got the graphic all sorted, but you can go and vote for your driver of the day, I believe. And of course, who?
I don't know though, because I'm covering the F2. I'm not on the F3 one, so I can't really check it as such. But obviously we've had a few driver changes, more so in Holland left. But I'll check if it's actually working for everything. But yeah, Bobberts there. He's going to have to come in. If not, I don't know what he's doing. And he has to make it onto the wets. He's got to throw it out there, because he's going to have to change his front wing anyway. He might as well throw it onto the wets and just go, you know what? Wing it. Wing it for the wets, because oh my god, he is firing the car so much. As he goes for that really technical section of 13, 14. Is he going out? No, he's staying out. What's he doing?
I think he's just going to hold on for points now, because there's a fair amount of points you can gain from this in this Grand Prix. But Beaver is all over the back of him in the Sauber. It looks like he should be getting this move done. Watch Franglish behind as well. He could pick up some well-earned points. And from the back of the field, I've got to say, what a drive from the Toro Rosso. He's come pretty much unnoticed this race, but he's come from nowhere, and Franglish could well get some pretty good points here for the Toro Rosso team. And let's see if Beaver can get a move done then on Bobberts as they enter turn 6, as they head towards turn 6 now. Here we go. Beaver late on the brakes. Jork's gone deep into the hairpin, and doesn't look like he's going to get a move done just yet. Franglish is just sitting in behind. It's a battle for fourth then in this German Grand Prix, albeit because Bobberts has got no front wing end plate, and that's what's paying dividends in this one. He understeers so badly through the Mercedes-Benz grandstand, and it's over for him. Surely Beaver's going to get a move done on him. It's just if and when
Yep, definitely, because Bobbers is a sitting duck. It's a lame duck. He knows, is he going to... Oh, how's he doing through Sax Cup? He doesn't bin it like a Ferrari does, so well done to him, but definitely Beaver is going to make the move into the next lap. See, you're saying you could do it for points, but John Salonika is in P8. I think LGS has had some sort of issue because he's binning it down now. Yeah, LGS has gone for a wonderful little spin, little swim on the track, and he's now down to 11th. But you talk about... Ollie Smith's now taking his 3rd or 4th pit stop, I'm not too sure. Bobbitt's another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But you talk about Bobbitt's, you know, staying out there. But he could have gone onto the wets. He would have come out around P8 where John Salonika is, and he could have been fine and pushed a bit more. So I feel like he's done the wrong choice by staying out, because I feel like he's, you know, affects his race a lot more, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go then, because it looks like he's going to be sitting up once again. Beaver moving to the outside really aggressively because Franglish was sat there. He was like, well, where am I going to put my Toro Rosso now? And looks like Beaver will get this move done. Surely, no. How is that Williams holding on? He's got no front wing. Most of his front wing's gone. The front wing end plate's completely off that Williams car. I can't believe he's still holding on against this, well, fully intact Alfa Romeo Sauber. I can't believe he's holding on at the moment, but it doesn't look like he's going to be holding on for much longer because Beaver's up the inside to take enter just before the 1-1 curve and does get the move done on the Williams, and now Will Franglish follow him through as well. Looks like he went in towards the Sax curve. No, he opens the door, shuts the door, opens the door again, and Franglish still can't get the move done on that Williams and has to sit and settle for P6.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, again, Franklin's going to take over, but Maloney is now looking as well. Maloney, the championship leader now, he's in P7, but he can make a move and then try and secure himself P6 as Bobbitt goes further down, or maybe he could take Franglish and maybe even Beef, I don't know. But Franglish is definitely trying to line up a move into the parabolica of turn 5. I see Bobbitt goes quite deep into turn 2, turn 3 and 4. He's really lacking it there. That front wing is not helping him at all, but no DRS anyway. But as I say, Bobbitt's going on the outside as parabolica, but Franklish at the inside, and Ollie Smith, I don't know what he's doing there. Not at all. He's going rally crossing, I don't know. But yeah, has he made the move? No, Franklish has not made the move at all, but Maloney's made the move. Oh my god, what's happened there?
Nowhere the McLaren's up the inside. He's going to be wheel to wheel with Franklish as they head through there. My goodness me, you've got to be so brave to go side by side. The dry, let alone the wet. Melanie trying to go on the outside of him. Can Franklish hold on? Melanie gets a penalty for his, racing, which is the harshest possible way we can put it. And Melanie now is going to be wheels to wheel into the 1-1 curve. Thinks better of it into there. Knows there aren't still points to play for, and that's what I mean with Melanie. We will not go for a stupid move if a stupid move is not necessary. And a stupid move is never necessary, so he thinks wisely, does Melanie, and that championship lead will be cut down quite dramatically as well between himself and Rosberg.
Definitely. Rosberg, he could be leading this race, but obviously Duralix just continually, perfect from him, holding it out as much as he can. But Maloney, he's taking it there. Franglish is going to be very close to him. Some yellow flag to section 1. I'm not too sure what happened there. Maybe because binned it in parabolic, or maybe Smithson's binned it. But again, really? Eesh. But not
a joke, really.
But yeah, Franglish now looking very close to him as another sector 1, sector 2. Oh, what's happened there with Franglish? A little bug there of some sorts as something goes on. He's trying to have a look at Bobbitt's, but he goes way too deep. It's some yellow flag to sector 1 and sector 2. Maloney is keeping it close to the Toro Rosso driver now. We've got a few flags coming through in sector 2 now. I don't know what's happened here. I feel like some cars are slightly going off, obviously, due to weather, obviously. But Beaver now, P4, he's pretty comfortable there. Pretty comfortable with Bobbitt and Bobbitt and Jork, to be fair. So looks like Beaver's probably secured himself P4 with only 2 laps to go, to be fair.
Absolutely right, and Franglish still seeing the full face of a Williams rear wing. He just cannot get it moved at the moment. It's ridiculous. It's how is Bobbitt holding on to 5th place with half a front wing? It's incredible that he's managing to hold his position at the moment as the car has gone off in between the middle 2 sectors, and I can't find out who that was, but Franglish is back on the attack once again with Bobbitt as they head towards turn number 2 or 3. Let's see if he can get the move done on the Williams. He's thinking about getting that move done. He just can't get it done. It's so weird. It's so weird that he can't get the move done on the Williams there, but he's going to have to go really late. He's just going to have to be ballsy, I think, now.
He's going to have to go on the
Just
inside.
for it.
But Bobbitt's
Towards
close to the inside.
He can't. He covers it. He's going to have to go that little bit early on the brakes because he knows Bobs is going to go deep, and he does so. And Melanie's going to now force his way through. The McLaren, no, can't quite get the move done. But it's just such a concertina effect. Everyone seems to be joining in on it, and it's crazy, really.
Definitely, a slight bit of contact there where Bobbitt just went so deep. He took it, let's call it the Nico Rosberg of taking the corner, going as deep as you can into it to try and fend off Franglish, but that just opens the door for Maloney to come in and take P6 and maybe even P5. But we're about to approach the final lap of the race. Dralix, I don't want to say it, but he's pretty much got it in the bag, to be fair. He's got that 3-second gap to him. Jork's quite comfortable, Beef is quite comfortable. But this little Bobbitt, Franglish, Maloney, scrap is nowhere near finished. Can Franglish make a move? He's so close to him as they go through the first corner. Let's see how they go. Slight bit of braking there, obviously no DRS, so I think Franglish is going to have to keep rather close to the Williams in front of him and make a move. He must make a move into the hairpin, suggesting, I would say, to stay into the inside. Oh my god, he's so close to the Williams. He's got to make a move. He has to make a move.
The Williams just skated off there. The gap between the top two has come out dramatically. It's come down by 1.5 seconds for a long part of this Grand Prix, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him. But is it going to be enough for Franglish? Is he going to be wise enough to break that little bit earlier? Yes!
No! Contact!
He can't get the move done. Goodness, he still can't get the move done. It's a bit of contact between the three cars there, but he just couldn't quite get it done. My goodness me, it's going to be a hard day in the office in the end for Franglish, but he will get 5th place regardless. He will get 5th place, and that's all that matters. But Dralix now is coming through the penultimate corner, and now the final corner. He's done a fantastic job from pole to flag. Not the way that we all expected it to plan out, but Dralix has won the German Grand Prix. What a fantastic performance from the Haas, and takes his win, and rightfully so as well. Rosberg comes home in a fine P2. Jork does get P3 in the end. Beefer comes home for P4, and Bobbitt, who's going to get P5 here? Dralix,
Maloney
has got P5 ahead of Melanie, and Bobbitt finishes in 7th. John Zalanica around the final corner. He will get 8th place in the end. Infamous Clays for 9th, and Sam gets 9th actually because John Zalanica had a penalty. LGS will finish in P11. Hayden's gone off at the Sachs curve in P12, and not the day that he was hoping for in the Renault, and not for the Renault team at all. Really, it wasn't a great day in the office. Smithson, Verstappen and Pelzeri all failed to finish.
Wow, well, that was an interesting race full of multiple... Oh, and Hayden takes the fast and furious way of finishing the race and completely loses the rear. But, yeah, rather interesting race completely there. A few incidents. Rather clean, though, to say. First corner was rather clean going through. But, yeah, you got to give it off to Dralix. That strategy works so well for him, going start on the mediums. We first looked off the start, we thought, okay, this probably isn't the best idea. But he held it off. The rain came. And, yeah, great. We was looking at Mercedes 1-2. But, yeah, rather big. So, yeah, great race from him.
Fantastic performance, and the guys you'll see now on the rostrum in Germany, and a Haas and a Mercedes and a McLaren driver on the top 3 steps of the podium, and the Canadian, Irish and Union Jack being shown, as we all like to see at a German Grand Prix. No German winner today, but we have got Dralix, who did win the Grand Prix, and he's won it in fantastic style by 2.5 seconds in the end, so a lot closer than what it was. The top 2 were the only 2 really without penalties, other than Beefer, who also had a pretty clean race. Jork finishes in P3 ahead of Beefer. Franglish finishes in 5th after being sat behind Bobbitt for the whole, it seemed, of that end part of the race. Melanie can only recover to 6th, and not a good day in the office for the championship leader. Bobbitt will finish in 7th despite having half a front wing. Infamous Clays from P8, Sam F1, NFC finishes in P9, John Zalanica runs out the top 10, LGS and Hayden were the only non-points finishers, but the non-finishers were Smithson, Verstappen and Pelzeri.
Yeah, what a shame. Pelzeri, he went off quite early, didn't he? About, I'm trying to think what lap it was, but he was one of the first finishers. But yeah, such a shame from him. I feel like I've been told we may be getting some interviews. And there we go with Dralix. He is in. Can you hear us, Dralix?
Yeah, but for some reason I can't include my audio in parties.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to repeat.
Okay.
No, that's like.
Oh, do you want to go? You can go, James.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'd just like to point out quite quickly, because this is a YouTube stream, you don't have to include your audio, the benefits of this.
Yes.
But Dralix, pole to flag, it's a brilliant effort, to be fair, but it's not maybe the way you expected to. I mean, you knew that the rain was coming, clearly, but was the mediums always in your mind then? But you always think, I'm going to take these mediums as long as I can, just to make sure that the wet period, I'm going to be first in the wet period.
I had the softs on, and then with like 2 seconds left, and before the race started, I switched it to mediums. I said YOLO, and then when everyone pit, I just knew that I could cruise to save the tires, and it worked out. Everything worked out. I'm just so happy. For once.
You sound so relaxed. You sound like nothing's happened. It's just like, oh yeah, just driving around, nothing too much. I accidentally picked medium, so I didn't mean to have got that. I'm just joking. But you know what? I mean, it's a race win at the end of the day. It's got to be something you've got to be pretty happy with. So, I mean, I always ask the question: Are we more likely to see you on, the top step of the rostrum now, without Morso and Holland who have gone to F1? I mean, why? But who knows? They've gone to F1. I mean, you've got to feel like you're going to have more chances at race victories now.
Yeah, definitely.
You're helping
I
me
knew,
out here.
I mean, I practice with them all the time because VSR and they're my friends, and most of the time I can keep up with them. It's just in this season I've been like unlucky sometimes, so I don't know what to say. I think I can if I can drive like I drove today. I think I can win a couple more races. I'd like to.
Well, everyone wants to. Not least myself, but of course I've got to talk about you guys winning. I'm not jealous at all. Alex, you got any further questions for Dralix? Or?
No. I've just obviously we've got P2 now, Rosberg. All we got to say is obviously we saw some audacious, very we saw some moves from you that we thought, oh my god, what is he doing? When you was putting off the moves, what was going through your head? Do you know it was going to stick, or did you feel like, okay, I've got to throw the kitchen sink and try and risk it for a win or P2? What was going through your mind?
Most of the time it was just me braking too early and thinking, I can brake a little bit later, and then I just let go of the brakes and I'm ploughing into people by accident. The move I did on Jork, when it happened again, I broke a bit early and I was like, I can brake a little bit later, and then I just ploughed into him. So I let him back pass because I knew I was probably going to just get fisted if I left it like that. And it happened a couple of other times. So I just missed my braking point. I hit Melanie a few times. But yeah, it's mainly just me being a bit of a muppet, really.
When you saw the rain coming down, obviously you was leading by then. You was in the net lead. When you saw the rain coming down, what was going through your head? Because you just pitted for a new set of mediums, and you obviously everyone intermediates. What went through your head at that stage of the race? Did you know that Dralix was going to secure the lead from there, or did you think you had a quite clear chance of taking the lead?
I paid no attention to the positions, and I thought I was in the lead and I was going to win the race until I came out the pits and saw that Dralix was leading. I was like, well, where's he come from then? I definitely thought I had the win after I got past Jork, and I was managing the gap a little bit. I was like, okay, I think I've got this finally. But no, Dralix just seemingly came out of nowhere. I was kind of shocked because I didn't realise he had taken the mediums that long because I paid no attention to the positions. But yeah, I mean, fair play. He took the mediums that far. I'm not sure how they were, but I mean, he just pulled off the right strategy.
69%.
69%, great. That's annoying.
James, you got any questions for Rosberg?
I don't, as a matter of fact. Do you want to go ahead and with Jordan? Or Jork?
It's up to you. I'm very flexible. Obviously, you're the.
I'll
I'm just
go with it
I'm just a
then.
little guy who stays here to cover for Jess. That's my role. So you take it.
Yeah. Well, I get in anybody's business. Anyway, Jordan P3 today. At points, it looked like potentially that was a race win for you, but it got away through, I suppose, no fault of your own. Simply the conditions of the Grand Prix. So, I mean, is it a bit, damaging that you finished in P3 today? Or are you pretty happy with that result?
That's a bit of a mixed bag because I'm glad to actually get some good points on the board because I've had such a rotten run recently of a few 8th, 7th places and no scores and all stuff like that. It was just a strategy, so first place to Drylix on that because I had it on medium still about 5 seconds before the start of the race and I changed it back, so I should have gone with my gut on that. And if I'd done that, I think me and Drylix would have been battling for a win because we seem pretty close usually. We've had a few battles this season in AOR as well, so yeah, apart from that, it was quite a fun race. I actually had some battles, and the issue with it has been my qualifying. I've always said if I qualify a bit further up, then I won't get into all the midfield carnage and losing front wings, and so I was glad to actually just kind of prove myself again. It's a shame in the wet that I lost a bit of pace. I put my brake balance forward after a few laps, and it seemed to sort it out. But I got 2 stupid warnings as well, which just trying to get used to the conditions.
I mean, a question for you was, you and Melanie were 1-2 past that Grand Prix. Melanie didn't obviously get onto the podium today, but I'm just kind of curious. It's a bit nosy, granted, but are you guys doing any sort of orders between each other? Are you guys just taking it the fair approach? So whoever's ahead on track gets the.
Well, we're good mates and we're in a party together. It's not one or the other. It just depends on what situation we're in the race. It was just unlucky for him that he was just behind me on that lap that we went into the pits. If he was in front of me, it would have been obviously him first because it would have cost more time doing another lap, because the rain changed the track pretty quick. So I feel sorry for Melanie on that because it was just really unlucky.
Yeah, of course, and congratulations on finishing in 3rd, Alex. I suppose you may want to round this off unless you've got anything else to add.
No, I've got nothing else to say, but great race, all 3 of you. Very interesting, especially when the rain came. Great strategy from Drylix, great battling from Rosberg and Jork. But thank you for everyone for watching with us in the German for Hockenheim. Now, which one's the next race again? Is it Belgium?
Belgium.
So next race is
Hungary.
Hungary. Is it Hungary?
I think it's
Hungary.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I believe so.
Sorry.
Completely forgot.
Jess will be back from Hungary. If Jess is watching, happy birthday to her. That's all from me, and that's all from James. So James, thank you for joining me for this one.
Thank you very much, and congratulations on the top 3.
Thank you, and thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next race, which is the Hungaroring. See you next time.